Hey guys, how's it going? I just decided to take some quick time to kind of talk about something that I found very, very important, at least to me. And that is the whole reason why I started this channel, started streaming on Twitch, making Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, why I'm doing all of this social media aspect to it. And I'll tell you, majority of the time, people will say it's to make money or to get popular. That ain't the main goal here. While it would be nice to have a little extra side income, it's not the main thing I'm focused on. The whole reason why I started this channel or started streaming was to build a platform where I can reach out to as many people as possible who are going through a hard time, either emotionally, mentally, physically sometimes, essentially people who are struggling. I want to be that advocate for them too, like that support as well. Like kids get bullied at school, just stuff like that. While it is very important to me that I help try and build a platform, like I mentioned, where I can reach out to as many people as possible. That's why I made Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, because I'm working on building a community where everyone can get together. So people who are going through a hard time mentally, with depression or anything like that, so they can have that community where they can go, where they know they don't have to worry about anything, about being judged or about having anything like that, to kind of get away from it. While I understand that is kind of escaping the reality, it is definitely a good point to always have that place where you can go. It's not about the subscriptions, the followers, the donations. 100% of my donations do go into making the stream better. So I can then again reach out to more people. The more followers, the more subscribers, the more I can reach out to help support other people. And as soon as I'm more well established, I'm going to be working on building a charity stream for suicide prevention. I just got to gear up a little bit more to be able to do that, where 100% of the donations are actual donations and they go straight to, the charity, like save.org or, all those others. And a little couple of things, speaking of suicide, that I would like to speak about. The whole point in the name, like I mentioned, for those of you who don't know, the phoenix is a mythological bird that's made of fire. Once defeated, it returns to ashes, but it's not killed, where it just sits there until it actually reignites itself. And looks something similar to these lines for you. Essentially a little mannequin my girlfriend got me. So, like I mentioned, the whole point is to reach as many people as I can who are struggling with depression, suicidal thoughts, just other stuff going on that is genuinely making them unhappy. And a couple of facts here from the save.org website. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in the world. That's second leading cause. Nothing that's accidental like car wrecks. This is the second leading cause. And while male suicide is 4 times higher and accounts for more, male suicides are 79% of all suicides, according to the CDC. Females are more likely, though, to have suicidal thoughts and attempts as well. And also, females are also twice as likely to get depression than men. While men, the reason for their increased, even though they attempt less, they succeed more, is because men they use more final means, such as gunshots, hanging, stuff like that. While females, they tend to go a lot more of the lines of like poisoning, overdoses, something along the painless route. Even sometimes cutting as well. So females do attempt suicide a lot more than males do, but they don't succeed as much. There is 1 suicide for every 25 attempts in both genders. Suicide is also the 3rd leading cause of death in between 15 to 24-year-olds. 3rd. Geez, when I was like 15, I understand that. Because I went through that as well at 15. There was one time when I stayed out of school for half the school year because of it. Because it would cause like severe stomach pain, just the anxiety of going to school. But over 44,000, almost 45,000 Americans die each year due to suicide, according to the CDC. $45,000. That number is insane. While I understand there's a lot of people in America and in the world, that number is still huge. Speaking of huge, over 800,000 people die in the world due to suicide. 800,000 out of anywhere. That is 1 every 40 seconds. 1 out of every 40 seconds. During the time span of this video is about 5-6 minutes. Currently, that's 5 to 6 people gone because of suicide. And I understand a lot of people. There's like a taboo of calling the suicide hotline. Some of it says like you're weak, you depend on others, while others are like they don't want to bother anyone else with their burdens. Like, those are the kinds of people who'd much rather implode than explode on everyone else. Which I'm the exact same way. That's how I was. You know, I'd much rather implode on myself and not bother anyone than explode. And I do have some of those traits as well, where I am that way. But ultimately I've learned how to better cope with it and how to learn. And also, majority of those people who think that, you know, they don't want to bother anyone, they'd much rather implode than explode. Those people are typically the ones who are the strongest amongst their family, who have this whole facade of being the strong one in their family. So they are always there for everyone, family, friends. They're always there and always willing to listen. You know, and I'm that way as well. But I learned how to deal with it, how to release that burden without doing anyone or without throwing it all at everyone else. You know, I know that. You know, especially during my experience with suicide. I lost my family member to suicide, where essentially the thing I learned was that suicide doesn't get rid of the pain. It just gives it to someone else. And while I understand people who say people who commit suicide are cowards, I highly beg to differ. That they're weak? No. You don't commit suicide because you're weak. You commit suicide because you've been strong for so long without any sort of support or anything like that. And I understand that. Especially how I used to be as well. I would, on the last day before I would go to work on my 2 days off, I would get such bad anxiety because I hated my job. I did. I got so much anxiety that I even had to call out a couple of times. Which, I understand that as well. You know, some people are stuck in a job they hate because of money. And I do understand that. I'm the exact same way. But I would strongly recommend applying for different jobs. If your job makes you that miserable, I suggest taking your skills and all your assets and trying to find a different job. Sometimes you're at that point where you don't care what that job is. You need out. And I was the exact same way. And that's what I did when I put in my 2 weeks. Was because I did find a different job. A job that I'll enjoy. But, you know, I understand that. But don't quit. I know that's kind of counterproductive, but don't quit your job until you have a backup. I understand it's hard, and I do. But as my friend Chrissy told me, that it's a lot easier to find a job when you already have one versus not having a job and looking for one. So with that, if you hate your job, please find a different job. I understand I'm just saying that, and that it's probably a lot harder than I make it out to be. You know, but one thing I definitely did every day after work, as soon as I was finally off, I filled out at least 3 job applications a day. Or I found one really good job and I just applied to that one as well. So I understand that, you know, and I understand people don't have as much support as they think they do. It just means, you know, and I've been there. I'm the strong one amongst my family. At least it seems like, you know, where they would unload all their burdens on you and you just had to grin and take it. So, which I found a lot better way on how to deal with that, so I can be there for my family and my friends and my significant others. You know, I do understand that. So back to kind of the main point. That suicide doesn't make you weak. Suicide doesn't end the pain. It just gives it to someone else. But I understand. But can you believe over 45,000 Americans a year commit suicide? And over the span of this video, I keep on thinking how many people. It's been going on for about 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 15, 16 people. Probably more by now. Anyway, guys, I understand. And some people, like I mentioned, don't want to call the hotline. But I urge you, if you guys do not have any support or anything like that, please call. It's 1-800-273-8255. I repeat, 1-800-273-8255. And that is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. I understand you guys are tired. I understand everything that's going on. But I assure you, there are people out there who care. Like I care. I care about each and every single one of you. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your ethnicity. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care who you decide to love and all that, or even who you decide to hate. I don't care. I am here for you guys. That's why I made this channel, was so I could reach as many people as I can. Anyway.
Like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? Woo! I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind.
Anyway, back to talking about work as well. There's a guy at work. His name is John as well. I hated that job. I hated the customers. I hated people. But amongst all the friends I made at this old job, all the amazing supervisors out of the amazing friends, they made work more enjoyable. It was still crap, I hated it, but at least they made it so much easier. And this guy, John, he would even just come and just tap on your shoulder and ask you how you're doing. And every time you tell him, he'd be like, "Is that seriously?" You know, like he didn't believe you, you know. And that made the world of difference, especially when I was going through the hard times at work. So, for those of you who know someone who is going through a hard time, mentally, emotionally, they're depressed, please be there for them. And not just talking like pestering, because in case they are one of those people who much rather implode than explode, just be there for them. Let them know, hey, if you want to talk, I'm here. Hey, you know, hey, how's your day going? You know, he's like, hey man, what's going on? I noticed you're kind of down in the dumps. You know, So like I mentioned, if you know anyone who's depressed or going through suicidal thoughts, please be there for him, and also please give them the contact number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That is 1-800-273-8255. Like I said, guys, I am here for you. That's the whole reason why I built this channel. That's the whole reason why I am on Twitch, is to be there for you. Not for money, not for fame. I'm here for you. But anyway, guys, I greatly appreciate you guys listening to me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I stream every Sunday at noon Central Time. Thank you so much.